In this walkthrough, I will show you how to apply the 90-day trial tenant to any Office 365 tenant that you may have. We're going to take on the persona of a customer in this situation, but I'll point out how partners and fields can use this. First thing we need to do is we need to get ourselves a tenant if we don't have one. I'm going to spin up a trial E3 tenant here and walk you through those steps. It's a pretty fast process for actually standing up the trial tenant, and you'll be up and running within 5 minutes of filling in the information. As you can see, this is a 3-step process. The first step one is about you, who you are, what business you represent, and if you're filling this in on behalf of the customer, be cognizant of this. Make sure that you provide the customer information that is necessary for anybody looking at this trial tenant from Microsoft to come and contact that person. Now I'm setting up a demo here, so I'll just provide a company name here, and then we'll specify the organization size. We're going for E3, so let's give it a reasonable size here. Next, create an ID. Now I like to use admin at this point because this will be the logon that comes through when you log on to the actual tenant itself, and something that you might want to sustain as you move through. Giving it a tenant name, be careful to use sensible names here. If this is a one that you move to production, this will remain the same, especially on the SharePoint sides. And here we provide a password, so set up the user ID moving forward. Next, you're in. You need to verify, of course, that you're not a robot. There's a couple of ways of doing this. You can either get a text. If your mobile phones run out of batteries, then there's actually ability for a call me to your landline. Once verified, the account is created. And as I say, this is pretty quick, and you can see the information there about the user ID that you've established and moving forward. Once you've done this point, there's actually a seamless transition between the signing up for the trial and then actually logging on to the trial tenant itself. So when you're ready to go, you actually then move into part of the admin console. You're actually logging on as the user ID that you've established here. So I'm actually logged on now to the trial tenant. There's a couple of things you need to fill in when you move in there for the first time, and you save and above. But it's worth noting here that you're actually authenticated to the trial tenant at this point, so you are under that persona of admin that I set up before. I want you to remember this, because as we move forward we can move into this. So here we go. This is the E3 trial tenant. Next I'm going to log on to the FastTrack portal. Now because I'm already logged on as an Office 365 user ID, it will inherit this. And in this case I'm logging on as the customer. You may be logging on as yourself, but make sure it's an Office 365 user ID. Because it's the first time I've logged on, I need to provide my company name. And this is the experience that customers get when they're asked to log on to the FastTrack portal. Specify that you're not a partner and the country that you move into. You know, as you're a partner moving into this, you know, this is the link when you invite the customer to it. This is the link that they follow through and the information that they have to fill in. Now we're ready to go. To get to the trial tenant 90-day extension, I need to establish a success plan. I'm going to form a very rudimentary one here, the very basic version here. You just need to fill in 4 steps. So I go to Overview, I click Create Success Plan, and I fill in the 4 steps. As you can see, not a lot of data required at this point, but it will enable me then to move into the area where I can actually get the 90-day trial extension. Moving next, you know, the dates and the workloads, I'll just go for a deployment and implementation here, and Exchange just for illustration. Clearly when you're doing it properly, you'll be specifying all the right workloads. Building your plan, you know, invite your customers to the plan. Well, I actually logged on as the customer here, so I'm just going to specify myself and press next. And then finally, you know, finish looking at the detail, summarizing, and save and finish. At this point, the placeholder for the success plan is in place, and I'm able to go in there and get the 90-day trial extension. This is stored under Getting Started, where you press on the Extend Office 365 Trial button here. what's going to happen here is it will send me an email. So this is the person I'm logged on as. So if you're the partner logged on, it will send it to your user ID. It depends who you're logged on as, who gets this email. So you get the notification. It tells you who actually activated this. It could be the partner, field, or customer, but good for the record if you're trying to track down who actually did the activation. And remember, I'm already logged on to Office 365 trial, so I'm going to go to OWA and I'm going to pick up the email that's sent. The first time I've logged on, so let's get that out of the way. Now, once you're in the email, you'll see the email that's got sent from the system. It contains in there a string. This string is a URL that you need to paste into the tenant that you're logged on, the Office 365 tenant. As you can see, it's a cacophony of different characters. One thing to avoid is make sure that you don't copy in the period or the full stop at the end there, because that's not actually part of the string. I've done that a couple of times, caught myself out. It won't work. If you find that, just double check on your cut and paste. So I'm going to cut and paste into the URL at the top there. What happens is it applies a promo code, so effectively it's like placing an order. You'll see from the interaction moving forward, that's what the system is recognizing. So it looks like you're already in an account. Would you like to apply to this account? Yes, I will in this case. So this was the original trial that I set up, the 25-seat one. I'm making it 250 now and 90 days. So I'm going to apply that, kind of confirm the order. This is the same experience you get for purchasing anything. And try now. What will happen now is we'll move into the admin console. All right, one more thing to do there. And press continue. So now we're in the admin console. It's been applied. You now have 250 seats of E3 for 90 days. Let's just double check that. We'll move down to billing and we'll look into the subscription. As you can see, there's a couple of subscriptions. There's the original subscription that we started off with, and then there's the 250 seat one that's been applied. So there you go, pretty simple way of applying a 90-day trial extension. It can be applied to any tenant. You just need to be logged on to that tenant, copy the URL in, and you're away you go. Thank you.